The content warnings for today's episode include drug use, violence, corpses, enclosed spaces, cave-ins, ghosts, and crushing bones. If at any point during this episode you need to step back, please take your time and come back whenever you're comfortable to rejoin us for this story. These tunnels run deep and long. Stefan's flashlight pierces through parts of the darkness, but at this point, you have gone into a section of these caverns that you don't see any traces of people having been here recently. Where earlier you saw cheap graffiti or carvings in the stone, you haven't seen any of those for the past, well, now that you think about it, you really lost a bit of track of time. Has it been 20 minutes? 30 minutes? An hour? Stefan still leads on, and you continue to follow this Tremere who, earlier, after this rumbling, launched himself at Geraldine and had to be taken down with a gunshot from Beatrice. As you delve deeper into these caves, Rowdy, this is your territory. You have staked a claim on this land. Maybe not a physical stake, and there are no documents that show that you own this, but by virtue of your clan, this is your land, your territory. And you are now in a section that feels unfamiliar to you. How does that make you feel, and how do we see that in Rowdy's behavior?
Before, the dirt and the walls had a warmth to them, not just from the many, many writhing, dancing bodies in the rave, but the cavern welcoming Rowdy, the caves responding to her. But at this point, this vampire is feeling colder than normal, and sort of like the lover has left the bed and left a cool spot on the sheets next to her. And her face is probably looking a little bit more drawn, shadows under her eyes, maybe a little bit of some blood flecks on the lips as well, as she's sweating in a certain way. Maybe a little bit of a bit more bitchy with her coterie. Who could tell?
A lover having left the bed and leaving that side of the bed unoccupied. There certainly feels like something has left this place, like there's an opening here. You all feel it in a sense. But perhaps two of you, either by virtue of your blood or by virtue of the substances you have consumed, actually see the difference here. Beatrice, Leni, now that you further advance down these hallways, still following Stefan and his weak flashlight from his phone, both of you would have noticed the resins of others. Leni, no matter where you look, no matter where you turn your eyes, there's always someone in the corner of your eyes. There is always this feeling that someone reaches out from behind you trying to tap your shoulder. When you look back, there's no one there. When you look right in front again, it's as if someone was there, but suddenly disappeared. It feels like no matter where you go, not that are there just people watching you, but there's actively people beside you, but you don't know where they are. How does that make you feel, Leni, and how do we see that?
Leni is already on edge. She's at hunger 3, despite having fed earlier. So the beast in her has been telling her to turn around and run. Go back the way we came and return to the warmth and the beat of the base and the caves above. But she has no one in this world. And these 3 women are the first vampires who have made her feel like she's not worthless just because she's so young. And they've taught her a lot. So if they think she needs to be here to help, if she can help in any way, well, I guess that's just what she has to do.
Leni, as that thought crosses your mind, the fact that even though this is a horrifying situation, you are here with individuals who make you feel perhaps empowered, or not just like the young one in the bunch. One of these presences that you have been feeling seems to stand still next to you. And you actually hear a voice coming from that presence. It stands still, and you hear it speak in German to you. Lass dich nicht einschüchtern. Du bist auf dem richtigen Pfad.
Wer spricht zu mir?
Fürchte dich nicht. You can actually feel like there's one of these ghostly presences that's standing next to you. You know, if you turn your head, you could look at this presence. But do you turn your face towards this presence?
No. But as he tells me not to be afraid, she steels herself, realizing she just spoke out loud and the rest of the coterie is looking.
Zeg je nou?
Alles
va?
gut. It's fine. I'm not afraid.
You don't need to be afraid because we are here. What needs to be afraid of us?
Just someone who's expecting us.
Wie dan? Who?
Ich weiß nicht. But I think it'll be okay.
When conversing with the dead, you ought to be careful. Do not trust too easily, but also do not deny their wisdom. Stay vigilant.
Okay.
Rowdy, do you still know where we are?
Merci, thank you for asking. No. This is beyond the map that I have made. Malheureusement. So, we are on our own, if you know what I mean. But together, ensemble.
Nou goed dan.
Rowdy, as you say that, you also hear a voice out of the darkness. A different voice. It's lower. It's very... It sounds like a voice that has been speaking for hours and is severely dehydrated. And as you hear it speak, it also speaks in this, from what you can tell, in this old-fashioned French to you. From what you can gather from it, the voice says, "You have come this far. You witnessed the old wound." And while Rowdy hears that voice, Beatrice, of all the people here, you might be most in tune with the dead. You also hear that voice speak. And from your position, you can see right behind Rowdy this ghostly figure barely emerging out of the darkness, out of the shadows that are cast by Stefan's light. And just from what you can see, it's this figure dressed in the garments of a monk. Medieval monk, like this cloth, baggy clothing. The hood is lowered, and this ghostly, translucent face is on one half the face of a man in perhaps his 40s, a little bit skinny, but for the rest, looking healthy. But the other side of the face is decomposed. The skin is covered in rot and pox marks. And instead of an eye in that eye socket, there's just this pale blue light glowing in it.
Rowdy will, after she hears the voice, will look around and say, Montrez-moi votre visage. Hein? Show me your face. Vous voulez quelque chose? Hein? What do you want?
There is no response to that. But Beatrice, you still see that ghost, this monk's ghost standing there. Is there anything you do as Rowdy is calling for a response?
I look at this figure and study it for a bit, trying to figure out what I am seeing. If this is truly a person, a ghost, or if this is some other form, if this is a specter, a wraith, like trying to kind of read it in a way to figure out if this is something that could help us.
Rowdy also adds, Pardonnez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Montrez-moi. Parlez avec moi, hein? Speak with me. What is the old wound?
And I would like to maybe roll with an occult to figure this person out or this ghost out. And I do have a specialty in grave rituals. Don't know if this helps.
I don't. You're trying to figure out who this person is, who this ghost is. That's
Rather, I'm trying to figure out what it is, if it's truly a ghost, and if it is helpful or if it is trying to, misdirect us.
I'd say that the grave ritual specialty does not apply in this case, but I'd say you could definitely roll intelligence plus occult to figure out what exactly this appearance is and if it would be helpful. That's definitely an intelligence plus occult.
And who are you all talking to? What does it look like?
I don't know.
That's success by 0.
That is exactly 3 successes. So, as a Hekata, you are very well trained in the different types of the dead, the way that they manifest. A ghost is not immediately a ghost. There are your lingering haunts that are more like memories of the deceased than the actual spirits of the deceased. There are the terrifying wraith, actually powerful hauntings that have fetters that tie them to the living world. They cannot leave it fully because they're unfinished business here. And in rare cases, there are the ghosts of kindred that linger beyond the shroud. Kindred that in their unlife have mastered a degree of oblivion, the discipline of the Shadowlands, that allows them that even once they shed their undead body, their soul, or what remains of it, moves on to the Shadowlands and can exist there. It is rare. It is even in the clan of the dead, even after the family reunion, a rare ability to have. Yet here, Beatrice, you think that the way this ghosts present, the way it appears more powerful than the other apparitions that you've seen here. This might be the ghost of a kindred who successfully crossed the veil and still lingers here.
I take in this revelation, and I'm looking at you, Rowdy, or like past you, behind you, and clearly seem to look at anything that I seem to see, but it's not you. And I think there is a hint of fear, but also excitement. And Beatrice moves the eyes as like bows to this ghost.
All of you can see Beatrice doing this. What none of you can see that, in response to this gesture of humility, the ghost, this entity that Beatrice sees, returns the gesture, lowering his head. And as he does, he fades into the shadows. And Beatrice, it is at this moment that your premonition kicks in. Unbidden, it calls again. Can you give me a Resolve plus Auspex roll, please?
Success by 1.
2 successes. As you see this vampiric ghost fading away into the shadows, for your feeling, it's as if you, again, are pulled into a vision. But at first hand, it feels like you're basically just looking at this very moment. Maybe just a few seconds ahead in the future. And you see that Stefan is turned around towards the group, his flashlight shining at all of you as you see that in your vision. Geraldine is looking around at what everyone's looking at. And then as he turns around, in your vision, the ground around you just rumbles again, more intense this time. And then the ceiling above you, the cave ceiling, cracks open. And you just see, in your vision, Stefan looking up and looking horrified at what's coming. And then you're just pulled back into the now, and you're pulled back at the moment where you see now, for you for the second time, Stefan turning around with his flashlights. What do you do?
Okay, how are we positioned right now? Who is standing where?
Stefan is all the way in the front. Who's like directly behind him?
Okay. I only have a split second. I say in a voice that is quite loud for Beatrice. Avert your eyes. I say that to my coterie. So that everyone like looks down in the very second the light shines over. So that we are not immediately disoriented by the light shining into our eyes.
And the coterie follows these instructions, averting their gaze away from the light. The light turns over, and immediately after that, the ground shakes. You all feel it. It's like a full-on earthquake. You can feel the ground beneath you quake. The walls next to you are vibrating, humming, as if some great power from below is stirring and trying to force its way upwards. Then you hear the crack above you, rock sliding apart. You can all feel that there's some debris falling at you, these little pieces of stone. But the largest sound comes just from ahead of you as you just hear the sound of a rocky avalanche coming down and just falling down in front of you. You all still have your eyes averted. You can only hear this. You don't see anything of this yet. There is a scream that is cut off as you hear bones crack. And then after moments of loud, echoey mayhem, silence and darkness in the tunnel.
Geen lampje meer. Een flashlight.
Right where Stefan stood, there is now a pile of rocks blocking the way ahead, and no sign of the Tremere.
That. And this one.
Rowdy will try to scramble up the little mountain of rocks and try to move a couple to see how deep it goes. Pia, grabbing, trying not to launch them back. But
Yeah. Basically, trying to see how big the pile is, how deep that
yeah,
goes.
if we can still go through, if I can
Yeah.
see Stefan.
Yeah. You start moving the loose rubble that's on there. And as you start with your hands moving away the stones, Rowdy, you cannot shake the feeling that even though you marked this as your land, the land itself is messing with you, as if it's rejecting your authority.
Rowdy's trying to keep it together because this is what she's wanted for a long time. And not to be messed with, the land and the space. And she turns to Beatrice and Leni and Holdinen. Je suis désolée. I can't find him. I don't know if he was. No, it was not him. It was whatever is here.
It wants to keep us out.
What?
Is that okay with you?
No, no. I
Good answer.
don't accept my own failure. Other people sometimes. Not mine. Pas moi.
In the darkness, Leni has moved back. When the rumbling started, she took several steps back and shut her eyes very tightly. And so she has her hands against the cold stone wall behind her. And she whispers, with her eyes shut in this pitch darkness, Hast du das gemacht, fremde Stimme? Bist du noch da?
You hear the voice again. You hear it clearer now. It sounds like the voice of a woman, but as if that woman is speaking from the end of one of the hallway and you're on the other end of the hallway. There's a distortion to it. But she speaks again. Die Schatten wollen euch vertreiben. Doch es sind die Schatten, durch die ihr schreiten müsst.
Und wo lang sollen wir gehen? Was können wir tun?
Weiter. Über die Steine, über die Felsen. Tiefer und tiefer.
Does anyone have any light?
Even though we don't need it?
We don't?
Yes, we have light. And Geraldine pulls out her phone and slips on the torch.
As you flip on the torch, Geraldine, are you pointing it in the direction of Leni?
Yes.
As you flip on the torch, for a brief moment, you see a person standing next to Leni. And this is a question more to Chrifu than to Leni.
Oh god.
But Chrifu, would you briefly remind us again what Dilara looks like?
Lara is a young appearing woman of Turkish descent, and tan skin, long, jet black hair, quite striking eyebrows with long, fluttering eyelashes, and a golden hoop in her nose.
That's the figure that you briefly see, Geraldine, as you turn on the flashlight. But as you look again, the figure is already gone.
There was a woman there.
She
Dark
spoke
skin?
to me.
Oh,
She said we must overcome the shadows. They are trying to keep us out through the rocks and further down.
You're having a nice haunting, then. A warning, an omen.
I think she's... Question, then. Is there anything... Okay, Chrifu obviously knows who this is and has theories about what her deal is. Leni has no idea. Or she might? And that's why I'm asking, is there something I could roll to determine... She knows nothing about ghosts, but maybe she can feel something about this person.
Feel something about the intentions of this person?
Yes, let's go with that.
Kind of intuit if this is indeed a good haunting or a more malevolent one. Definitely. How about I think this would be a wits plus insight roll for Leni.
Plus wits. How many?
How much difficulty?
Yes.
2.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
At 3 hunger already. Success, exactly.
2 successes, yes.
With the majority of that dice pool being replaced by hunger dice.
The beast is telling me, run, get the hell out of here.
While the beast is telling your dad, your reason, your human mind, gives you just this feeling that whoever this is, they mean well. They have an interest in you pushing through and moving on.
Leni shakes her head. A good haunting. She needs us to get there.
Then we must. We must anyway, but... Is there a way Rowdy can... Storyteller, is there a way Rowdy can figure out which direction to go to? Obviously not through the rocks, but...
Rowdy has one way, but I think the coterie is also in possession of a certain notebook that Stefan mentioned earlier, that Stefan used that to kind of gauge where to go. Did the navigation then purely from his memory, since you so gently took it from him. But you do have the notebook, but if Rowdy wants to also just go by her own recollection of these things, you could definitely try to recall something. I'd say that would be a intelligence plus survival roll to see how well you know this place.
Yeah, that's right anyway.
so you say it was someone kind.
Kind. None of us are kind anymore.
That is
La Patrona, I don't know if you ever were.
I take it as a compliment. Only because with my circle, we like to know where we came from. Rumor has it my prince was turned in a place like this.
That seems strange. I've only ever seen Gricha in fancy-looking places.
Not like her to step in these places, but we were different back then. I for sure was not nice.
Kind and nice are two different things. I don't think she needs us, and so for now needs us to overcome.
We shall. Rowdy?
Yes, I'm remembering. Don't we have a book, a journal in our possession from Tremere that we can use to?
Yes. We do. And I pull out the book and get a little closer to Geraldine to have her shine the light a little bit over to me so I can read the notes.
So Beatrice is taking a good look at these notes, and Beatrice, you quickly notice that these notes are extremely thorough and detailed. Whoever created this has a very clear handwriting, first of all, and also made sure that all of these pages are filled to the brim with information. There are sections on the exact historical context of the creation of certain tunnels in the Three City area. There are notes tacked on about which kind of kindred dating all the way back to like the 8th, 9th century were probably involved in certain things that happened within the domains here. There's a lot of information. It takes you some time to actually get to the part that helps you navigate these tunnels. As you go through there are sections that have drawings of the tunnels. Now, Rowdy, you earlier rolled that intelligence plus survival roll, and we were going for a difficulty of 4, but you got 2 successes. That alone was not enough to succeed in the navigation. But what it is enough for is helping Beatrice find like where on this map you currently are based on your knowledge of like, okay, I know where these caves are, so we went down these tunnels. So you can help Beatrice kind of pinpoint on the maps in the notebook where you probably are right now and help her set out a path that, going by what the two of you figure out, does involve that you have to get past this pile of rubble in front of you, which is doable. It's gonna be a tight squeeze to get through. It's gonna take some time to get these rocks up. There's gonna be some nails breaking probably, but you could make it through here. Because beyond that, if you go further on, according to this map, there is a few more tunnels winding further down, and then one end of that is just marked with, again, this beautiful handwriting, just noting Nexus ?
I go through the notes and probably at some point quietly mumble to myself. So thorough. Very typical Tremere.
Rowdy leans in and goes, pardon, may I? I can show you where we've been.
Yes.
Yes, and she kind of tick, 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 shows a couple of the branches, and then also goes, pardon, and then she, if Beatrice is pointing, she sort of like ghosts her finger, and then
I think Beatrice is not like even pointing, it's like just holding the book and letting
Okay.
you point, just like,
points. And then, she's also like, Geraldine, Leni, can you remove the rocks? I'll join you in 1 minute. 30 seconds. J'ai promis. Je te jure. I promise.
Leni, darling. Have a seat.
Okay.
And Geraldina goes to yeet some boulders.
Before we go to the description, I think Geraldine will have to roll for that. And I think this is going to be one of Geraldine's better abilities. Geraldine, could you give me a strength plus athletics roll for this?
Difficulty?
It's a lot of boulders. They're heavy. I'd say this is a difficulty 3.
Messy critical.
It's a messy critical indeed. You got a total of 6 successes to it, though. And the thing here is, you rolled really good on those hunger dice. So, you do succeed. It's good that Leni sat down for this. But how is the beast taking charge in this? How are you solving this problem in a messy way?
Don't I tell thee? The bookworms are at it. Ich bin the good boss here. I'm the leader. I came this way to not do this shit. I think the rocks are flung violently without care that my coterie members might get hit.
Ah! Watch out!
Leni, there is one of these rocks that just hits you right in the shoulder.
Ah!
Kiss my cooler. Ah, I said it. I'm coming. God, I just 2 seconds to help with the map, huh?
I think Carolina just turns around and says nothing. If her phone with the torch on was on the ground, there's just shadows. There's just shadows. The light pointing up from her feet, big, broad shoulders, and you could swear you see like 2 red, glowing eyes.
Rowdy does not back down. Rowdy was a vaudeville actor. Rowdy played Lily in Munster. Rowdy was Elvira. She makes a gesture as if to say a little face off, but then just goes, "Bouge, I'm helping," and pushes past and starts grabbing boulders too, but not throwing them at people's faces. The moneymaker, huh?
Rowdy, as you start pulling these boulders off, you just notice in that moment how fast Geraldine has removed so many of these boulders. And as you come join there, next to this intimidating presence of the Ventru, you remove one more rock, and you just look at Stefan's face underneath the rocks. It's heavily damaged. There's like bruises and wounds. The eyes are wide open, and they just look at you like staring at you. There's no movement of Stefan at this point.
Merde. C'est mort, hein?
It gets even worse, Rowdy, because as you see that, all of you hear coming down the tunnel the fast footsteps of a big wolf, the sound of an exhausted wolf that has been running for a while, these 4 paws just going on the ground, going as fast as possible. And you see Lucien coming down, running down the hallway towards his mistress.
Rowdy, mon cœur, Lucien, hein? Ça va? Are you okay, huh?
The wolf is like immediately like jumping up to you, starts licking you, is happy to see you, but you can clearly tell Lucien is scared.
Dis-moi, tell me what's happening, huh? Qu'est-ce qui passe?
You, with your interaction and with your gifts of animalism, you just focus in on the body language of the wolf, but also this understanding that you have with this beautiful animal. And in this communion, this conversation, this special way of conversing that you have, you feel and understand from Lucien that upstairs, people are dying. Things happened. The way this wolf tells you this, he says that the sky fell down. And you also understand from your famulus that they are coming. And as you're still focused on Lucien, Geraldine, you notice that Rowdy saw that underneath these rocks is still Stefan, his eyes looking just wide open at you. And now that the wolf is also here, what do you do in that moment?
I go down and inspect the body of the Tremere. Is this torpor? Or he's gone?
I'd say this wouldn't be the first time that Geraldine would see a kindred that went into torpor, which is possible when your kind is faced with massive damage, which a cave ceiling falling on you can definitely get the trick done. And from what you can tell, Stefan did went into torpor.
I think Beatrice is looking through the notes and like is finished with like going through it and like thinking about, okay, I made a note, I know where to go. I see Geraldine standing there and staring at something at the ground, and I would go over there and see Stefan as well.
Hebben wij
En-
nodig? Do we need him?
You make your decision. I don't need him no more. This is your operation, I believe. You know best what to do. If you want to keep him, keep him. If not, none of my business.
Dat hebben ze niet nodig. Geraldine would lift her Doc Marten-esque boots over the head.
Wait,
Crunch.
Leni shouts, wait. Does Geraldine wait?
I'd like to let the dice decide. Just odd or even, yes or no.
Honor
Odd or
the
even.
elders.
Odd or even, yes or no?
6 or higher?
6 or higher, she waits. All right.
Roll that d10.
That was almost an 8.
And almost this. It was almost a lot of things.
It lingered on the 8.
Squish. Echo.
Your heavy Doc Martens crush the skull of Stefan Reuschler. You hear the bones snap. Is this the first time Geraldine dealt with someone this way?
Purely Kneet. No way.
So it is a familiar outcome of this. Where the head comes apart, it starts dissipating into dust. At the moment the sound of your boots crushing his skull dies down in the tunnel, you hear coming down the hallway footsteps. Not just of one person, not of two people. It sounds like dozens of people coming down the hallway. Approaching. This is exactly what Lucian has been talking with Rowdy about. How does Rowdy respond?
Yeah, Rowdy's like, there was a cave-in or some type of something was falling from the ceiling and they're coming and I don't know. I don't think it's a good deal. We need to get through here now.
Come then. And torchlight goes off. Come.
The moment the torchlight goes off, you can see at like the far end of the tunnel that you come down, in the distance, the darkness is pierced by glowing neon lights. People with probably these glowing rave sticks, and these lights approach slowly. What are you doing?
Leni quickly stands up and moves toward La Patrona.
We run.
Finally.
Lead the way then.
Deeper into the cave then.
As I pass the spot where Stefan was, I simply give a little nod to where he used to be. Pity that we met so late. I would have loved to talk some more. Well, and follow La Patrona and a little behind her, like one step behind her, but like let her know where to go next in the tunnels. after Rowdy has helped me navigate the map. So that Geraldine is still the one leading, but she gets the information where to go.
Perfect.
I want to briefly hold on to that moment, Beatrice, as you pay your brief respects to Stefan, or what remains of him. And as you do that, as you pay these respects, I'm gonna roll some dice. Oh, not a lot. That's not a lot of successes. Beatrice, could you roll me a resolve plus oblivion roll?
Okay.
4 successes. Beatrice, you look at what remains of Stefan, mention how you would have loved to get to know him a little better. And the moment you turn away, right behind you is just this ghostly form of Stefan, his head partially caved in, and you see that this ghost is reaching out at you, hands trying to go into your body. You know what this ghost is trying to do. This is an angry ghost now that's trying to take possession of you. But you know your art. You know the art of oblivion. You will not be easily possessed by a ghost. How do you reject this angry ghost?
I think she stands still and looks it directly in the eyes, like showing that she can see him, knows that he is here. But the unchanging expression on her face also shows that she knows he has no power over her, and that as much as he has studied, she has actually dabbled with the death, and she is the one who has not once but multiple times, with the intention to get closer to death, touched upon ghosts. And if he were so powerful that he could overcome her and possess her, she would happily give her body to him. But he's not.
He isn't. And he notices how you, with your might, expel him. And this, what remains of his face, part of it caved in, where in just before his destruction, Geraldine's boot hits. Part of that face looks at you in shock, horror, still this incomprehension filling the ghost of Stefan, and he is now pulling back and seems to be drawn into the shadows while that flock of people that approaches still draws closer. The rest of you is probably already heading down over this rubble. Is there anything that you do as you head down further into the darkness, away from the mob?
Pick up the pace. Suggest that Leni holds onto her heels.
I feel like she's quite capable of running in them, Jurassic Park style or something.
That meme of that woman with the very, very high heels that's just Naruto running through places.
Yes,
She's so fast.
the same hair color, actually.
It was Jurassic World. Sorry, I have to say it.
Thank you. It's not like I saw it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're running through.
Right.
Lucian's coming to, like.
Yeah.
I don't have anything I can do. Hopefully.
Fine. That's fine.
We caught a glimpse of them approaching. Were we able to pinpoint at all if what is coming is mostly humans or other kindreds?
That's hard to tell. You saw some of the lights from whatever kind of these glow sticks they have with them. You know, it's probably a larger group, but in that darkness and at that distance, hard to tell.
Okay.
You know, of course you know that sometimes people go missing in these caves. worst case scenario, we have a snack.
I just worry that your princess would not like it if we snacked a little too much.
And the
Especially-
alternative is that they live and witness some things they're not supposed to have witnessed.
Or Rowdy's like running. Or, oh, we get trampled, huh? A stampede of humanity. Blah.
There were a lot of kindred guests as well, no?
But we don't know what he's calling whom currently. No?
The living is always quite close to the dead. There's no death without life. So, true, maybe it isn't us they are calling.
There is no task without reward. Let us finish this task and hope that we are mightily rewarded.
Leni, do you have a platitude or a turn of phrase you would like to say now?
I'm not fucking dying down here.
I love that's my favorite one.
With those words, the coterie runs into the darkness. Unaware of the mess that is upstairs. We get a brief vision of that. The ceiling up in the caves have collapsed. The DJ booth, fully smashed. The lights, the electricity has gone out. Large chunks of rock and debris cover what remains of this underground rave. The only sounds here that still remain are a few of the groans of the people who have not been crushed by the weight of the underground. Some of them crawling out of this mess. We see fairly large chunk of stone resting on top of Valerie Dubois. She lies there, eyes closed. But then as we look at her, they open, bloodshot. Her muscles tense. She is drawing upon the powers of her blood to pull on whatever strength she can summon to remove this stone from her. She shoves it off, groans, and slowly rises from the ground. Her fangs are fully out. She's hungry. What she had to do to survive this cost her a lot of her vitae. Right next to her, there's one of the partygoers that avoided the worst of it. He has a few scratches, marks. Definitely has probably maybe a broken limb or something, but he's alive. And he sees Valerie. He's standing up, he's leaning in towards her. And he starts out speaking in a local dialect, then notices that Valerie does not understand it, and he switches over into English and goes like, are you he can't even finish the sentence. Valerie has her fangs down in his throat and is drinking. We see that this man was marked as a vampire earlier on for this fun little game. Valerie drinks. And while she does that, we see that lingering, hovering over her is still this ghost of Mariska that is just looking on at her. Once she's finished with the drinking, she just discards the mortal. His body lies there. He's been drained fully. And then as she looks around at the mess, she sits there. And with her own vitae, she starts drawing sigils around her. She will use what is present here. She will learn from it. She will draw from it. and she will use this opportunity. That's where we end today's episode of 3 City Revamp. Hi there, I'm Markus. Pronouns are he, him. I'm a white male, Caucasian male. I have a dark beard, dark hair, glasses, and today I'm wearing a white shirt with a blue-green plate button-up shirt. I'm a German living in the Netherlands, and you can find me online as the Chindividual on socials and on YouTube, where I make TTRPG videos, a lot of Pathfinder 2nd Edition stuff. So if that's your jam, come and check out my stuff. And I'm handing it over to Jen.
Hi, my name is Jen Vaughn, she, they, and I have been a rowdy divers. I am a queer, white, cisgender American living in France and a white presenting person. And I'm wearing all black, sort of a diaphanous top, black hair, blunt bangs, makeup, pencil thin eyebrows, super important to the character. And you can find my work on Haunted Vault Studios, where I have links to all my comics work, TTRPGs, and narrative design and video games. You can find me online over at Blue Sky and Instagram at the Jenya. Toto.
Hi, I'm Toto. My pronouns are she, they, not in order of preference, and I'm a queer Asian non binary artist, an actual play performer from Germany. I do all kinds of shenanigans in the online spaces, and you can find me almost anywhere under Totoroki. And I am wearing gold rimmed glasses. I have dark hair, cut in a layered style, and with short, straight bangs. And I'm wearing a black um, top with some silver jewelry and some dark red lipstick. Next up, our friend Chrifu.
Hi, I'm Chrifu Bernal, pronouns he, him, and I've been playing Leni Graf, pronouns she, her. I am a cis gay white guy, a queer German American based in Frankfurt, Germany. I have pale skin, very big red lips today with some feminized makeup and a light brown wavy wig on, a black tank top, and a silver spider necklace. Um, I am the executive producer and GM of Twilight's Edge on the Tumble Through podcast, where you can see all of these lovely people in various episodes, and episodes released wherever podcasts are found every Tuesday.
Hi, I'm Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a queer Latina woman of color. I'm based in the Netherlands. I have tan skin, dark hair, in a big bun. I am wearing makeup that intentionally ages me a bit more, makes me look a bit more mature. And I am wearing a green velvet blazer with a black top. Thank you so much for joining us here on Euphoria. We are all about these amazing tables with these amazing stories about the local scene, culture, and characters representative of all of Europe. We are all based in Europe here. We all have unique stories. Most of us are immigrants even here at this table. And I think that's pretty freaking cool. If you want to support us here at Euphoria, please follow us on the socials. Links will be in chat or in the description. Join our Discord, where we often have amazing, cool conversations at our respective time zones. We almost don't see any good mornings when it's our middle of the afternoon, and we're either arguing about is Flammkuchen pizza, what is better, Greg's or frikadelle broche? You know the answer. Say in the comments right now. That being said, we'll see you next time. Bye. Greg's is so bland.
It's not great. It's not great. We got some during Thought Bubble, and Luca was just like, I hate pastries in the UK. And I'm like, well, we can't judge it based on like the shitty grocery store. Like,
What
Again,
pastries?
saddest sausage roll of my life during Dragon Meat.
The the veggie version was actually better because you have to put more spices into it to actually make it
Mhm.
taste like something.
Mm.
I will say the flaky crust that was good.
It probably depends how long it's been sitting there, to be fair, also.
Ah,
And
Yeah.
like,
I got
I
my
think
like
that
8
was
in the morning, so it was like rush hour fresh.
perfect. Yeah.
It's my reason to go back to Dragonmeet next year because I didn't have one when we were there last
Me
Dragonmeet.
neither.
So,
Me neither.
so
I mean,
We weren't near one. I was
yeah,
looking for like, is there
yeah,
a Greg
there were no
somewhere?
Gregs near. So,
they do. They have a lot of vegetarian options, so
Yeah.
you'll be
Mm.
I
good.
want this content of like us
Shitting on
non-UK people
unless
shitting on Gregs.
Greg's would like to sponsor.
Any
I mean,
publicity is good publicity.
we need it honestly because so many EU4U streams are UK heavy.
I know,
Yeah.
yeah. We're like
So
all like, fuck them. It's like, no, wait.
Yeah, everything is in
um,
the
we're
UK. And it's like,
continental.
you know, it's like I think it's funny that it's always like when there's a post about everything is in the US. We should like focus on stuff that's not in the US. And there's always a UK white dude in there. Yeah, like in the UK. I was like, not you guys
Mhm.
this time.
You know, we should get Greg's that we'll just all be flown out to the UK to try everything. And then we have something to recommend.
Mm.